Hey, everybody, welcome to this week's gaming headlines. Today, we're going to start off here with Sony. Sony says the PlayStation 5 price hikes are possible as it faces $680 million hit from tariffs. From our resident TDS boy over at Kotaku, Ethan Gatch. The company has already raised its prices in some other countries. Let's say 20 other countries, Ethan. Ethan Gatch is TDS happy, but refuses to acknowledge that Sony has raised their price in 20 other countries. Already, nothing to do with tariffs from the United States. Let's continue to the next one. Let me tell you, when Sony does this, if and when Sony does do a price hike, you might as well say they took an Xbox exclusive. Because let's face it, they haven't put out a fresh game from their first party departments since September of 2024. Next headline here, Hogwarts Legacy, Civilization 7, and more reveal $10 upgrade fees for Switch 2 improvements. It looks like the third parties are on board. If you have a Switch 1 version of their game, a lot of these games will be able to get that next generation bump when you switch over to the Switch 2. This is a noticeable improvement from the Switch 1 version of Hogwarts Legacy. Next gaming headline is Helldivers 2 is calling players back to defend Super Earth in one of its most important updates. Weapon customization arrives just in time for an Illuminate invasion. Well, Helldivers may be calling back players, but I'm not ready to be called back. You're a little too late there. I'm so sorry that Sony went and screwed you guys over, and now your game is not on my list anymore. I loved it when it launched. I loved it for a good 2-3 months. The next headline has Nintendo and Illumination confirming a second animated Super Mario Bros. Movie for April 3rd, 2026, and it's titled Super Mario World. So it looks like we're jumping from NES over to the SNES. And if you stuck around for the after credits of the Super Mario Brothers movie, you saw that there was a teaser at the end there for Yoshi. So it looks like perhaps we are going to Yoshi's Island. Who knows? Nintendo has no plans to use game key cards for first-party Switch 2 games. Well, whoop-de-doo, because it looks like every single third party is definitely jumping on that bandwagon. It looks like Arc System Works, I believe that might be, that's totally wrong. But there was a recent leak that says that perhaps the only two options for third-party publishers, unlike the Switch, where they had 8GB, 16, 32, and I believe 64GB cards to choose from, you only get to choose between a dirt cheap game key card or an expensive 64GB key game card. So a lot of these third parties are opting for the lesser of the two, which is the cheap game key cards. So while Nintendo has no plans to use it on their games, of course, they don't have to put 30% down towards it. This doesn't help anybody out there who's concerned about their physical release future. Nintendo released recent reports that said that over 50% of their games are downloaded digitally as opposed to physically. And third quarter of last year for all of gaming, 76% of all games are being downloaded digitally as opposed to physically. So Nintendo will be the last one dragged kicking and screaming into the all digital future. But even they, with things like this game key card, even they are helping pushed in total line towards that all digital future, whether we like it or not. Nintendo is aware of a rare issue preventing My Nintendo members from pre-ordering Switch 2 games. By rare issue, they mean lack of online parity with the rest of the planet on Nintendo's end. Basically, there is a glitch that is actually people that are receiving these invitations already are being told they must create a brand new account, email Nintendo with the new account and email, and then hope that it gets answered in the next 3 to 4 days, in which the invitation may be null and void and they may just lose their place in line. So hopefully, they get that sorted out. You know what else is a rare issue for Nintendo? Them actually being able to fulfill pre-orders. Shinin calls Switch 2's power, quote, amazing, and discusses challenges of Fast Fusion's game share usage. Now, Shinin, if you aren't aware, with the Fast series that came out way back on the Wii, they pushed that gaming system to its limits. One of the prettiest games on the entire console, and they've stepped in where Nintendo has not when it comes to offering us an F-Zero experience on their consoles. Now, the Fast series also pushed the Wii U to its graphical capabilities, and the Switch 2's version of Fast is blazing fast, 60 frames per second, beautiful HD graphics. I can only imagine what they're going to do with the Switch 2 and its power. So, honestly, I don't have any jokes to say here, man. Shinin is awesome. Go check out their games. And finally, the new Pope plays video games. The first American Pope, Leo XIV, might have a better Wordle streak than you, as it was revealed that he plays Wordle and Words with Friends with his brother. So he may be our very first official gaming Pope. Another game that popes like to play on their spare time is Hide the Salami. Hope you guys enjoyed those gaming headlines. If you have anything that I missed, leave a comment below, like and subscribe. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me here on the page, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.